For many people, it's obvious that we are living right now in the Third World War. It seems obvious because they can listen this everywhere, but the truth is quite different. The problem is that we are victims of Soviet propaganda. And the reason is simple. For the Soviet Union, there is no end of the Cold War. Because if the Kremlin accepts the end of the Cold War, it has to accept also its failure. So, in order to avoid this position, they prefer to think, even now in Russia, that there is no end of the Cold War, that we are continuing in this, and they prefer to think that in reality the best thing to do is to consider that we have started the Third World War. Why? Because they were in the position of the victory at the end of the Second World War, and they prefer to consider the future from this point of view. So, in order to talk about the reality and what we are living right now, the idea is to make the promotion of the Third World War. In reality, things are different. Why? Because we have the end of the Cold War in 1991. We have also the failure of the Soviet Union. And now, from 2022, we have the reality of a new Cold War, and that's why I call it the Second Cold War. So they prefer to talk about the Third World War than the Second Cold War, just to avoid the acceptation of the failure of their ideology. But we have to consider now that maybe many situations in the world are in fact elements of this Cold War. So forget it about the Third World War. If you think that you are a victim without knowing this, and if you consider that right now we have the Cold War II, it's more efficient to prefer this and to prepare the future in a more strategic way than to stay a victim of the propaganda.